He just told me to suck his dick.
Hello.
Sorry.
That's how we're starting off the episode.
Hello, and welcome back to another entry into the Shrimp Fried Beans Talk Show. This will be episode 9 in the season. This is going to be our second to last entry before this is our last entry before the final end of the year
Party.
episode.
Yeah,
where
which
we
we
wrap up
discussed
season
last
1.
episode.
Yeah, we're going to wrap up the season in that episode.
Mm-hmm.
But today we're going to do we've been wanting to do this idea for a while, but life got in the way the entire time we were absent from YouTube. So we couldn't really do the amount of research we wanted to for this episode. So we're going to get the next best option and just commentary, not a reaction,
Slop. This is slop.
but a commentary of a video by YouTuber Wendigoon. His videos are amazing. They're great. They cover a wide topic of not necessarily niche subjects, but definitely something. Can you stop looking at me? But it's definitely over
hard.
topics that you wouldn't really like see, kind of like a documentary style, right? Those are super cool, right? He's one of the best areas to be on YouTube. Just watch his videos.
Absolutely.
And this is why we asked him politely, with permission, to use
We have
this
permission
video.
to use this
We
video,
emailed him.
right? So please don't copy
Yeah.
strike our.
It's for educational purposes.
Yes,
Permission.
this is free.
Education.
This
Anyways,
is a
I
transcription.
am your host, Adonai Flores. I am joined today by my co-hosts, Amir
GIST
Galator
effect.
Pineda Ray.
Yeah.
I'm joined today by off-camera my second co-host, Stephen Ray Lucas Ayala.
Lewis.
He's gonna be
That's my name.
playing and pausing our video. Hopefully we add meaningful things to add on to the video instead of just reacting. I hate reaction channels. We are joined by special guest.
I thought you were going to say special ed.
By special guest, Angel
Fuck you.
Angel Alberto Vasquez.
Alberto.
Yeah.
Ew. So let's get right into the video.
Bruh.
Alright,
Also
wait, hold on.
including me.
Who
Wait.
are you?
You know what?
Because I.
Bro, stop saying the N-word, dude. Stop saying the N-word, bro.
Sorry.
If you subscribe to our Patreon, you will be able to see the full uncensored clips of all the slurs he just
Yeah.
dropped. Anyways, let's get right into the video. I'm sorry for the cringy intro. Press play, Steven.
Alternate with killers from the iceberg and killers that I introduced myself. So this first one is going to be one that I added. The second one will be one from the original iceberg.
the fuck up.
The third one that I added, so on and so forth. Beginning with Nikolai Zumagalev, also known as Metal Fang.
He's
What
going
better
over
way to
Metal
end
Fang
the
right now.
iceberg than with someone who has a name that is way cooler than they deserve?
Cool as
Nikolai
fuck.
was born on November the 15th of 1952, and by all accounts had a normal childhood as he was growing up. He was born into the USSR in a region that is today part of Kazakhstan. Because of this, he did his mandatory military service, but even then didn't show any distinct signs of aggression. The closest thing is that there are several
hair is,
mentions
like,
of him
so
being in bar
ethnic.
fights, but for most Russian soldiers at the time, that was kind of part of the job description. And after his military service, he maintained several blue-collar
Shut the fuck up,
jobs
Jaylin.
and was a well-respected member of the community. He got the nickname Metal Fang because during one of these fights, he knocked out his front 2 teeth, which he replaced with white metal ones. What seemed to be the
Angel
turning point for
breaking
him
his front
was
tooth.
on
Oh,
one
fuck you,
occasion after
Kevin.
sleeping with someone
I know
from
you're
his
watching
local
this.
town, he
probably
contracted
is.
trichomoniasis and syphilis.
Yo,
It
what
seems
video
because
is
of this, he grew an intense hatred of women. This would culminate during his
You're not
first
funny,
killing
bro.
in January of 1979. Nikolai found a woman walking by herself on a back road which connected 2 different towns,
You know where
to which
this
he
is going
snuck
to.
up behind her, dragged her into the woods, and killed her.
That's
Shortly
standard.
after the killing, a
Watch out,
bus
Jimmy.
pulled up and stopped nearby on the road, so Nikolai quit moving in order to avoid detection. However, he got really cold and used the body for warmth.
Oh my.
Perhaps the most brutal aspect
Wait.
of the killing is that after
Pause
this
it.
event,
Did he like?
He
I just realized, are they gonna hear the video?
No,
Or are
I'll
you gonna
play.
put
I'll
it
play.
on-
I'll play it.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna put it like right here, locking you completely.
Good. That's really good.
Like yeah, like right here, right here. What were you saying?
No, no.
That's like that. Bro used her body for warmth
That.
after
Yep.
he killed
That's
her.
actually
I wonder, did he confess to this? Because how would they like know the details? Like he stood still as soon as the bus arrived. Like he had to confess, right?
Yeah.
He do.
Bro did that on purpose.
No, I did not. I did not.
Bro stretched out with that
Anyways, press play.
cock.
And to drink blood from his victim as well as take parts of her home, to which he later cooked and ate. He seemingly
Pause.
developed a
That's
taste.
a-
Vampire shit right there.
Jeffrey Dahmer protege.
Except he's not gay.
Question.
He's not
Oh.
Question.
What's up?
Right. If it wasn't
Yes.
illegal, would
Yes.
you eat a human body part?
Yes.
Would you eat human flesh?
Yes.
Human meat?
No.
Honestly, not.
fuck?
No.
No.
Why not?
That's what they say now,
Because
bro.
there's so much shit
Yeah.
in like humans that are just gross, bacteria and shit. I don't want
Like,
to.
look at your calves. You got some pretty good calves.
I know I
Like,
do.
There's
Would you-
bacteria
would you
in
like-
animals, too.
Would I take a bite?
Yeah.
No.
Like, let's say you didn't know. Well, no, you should know. What if?
I feel like there's enough research about humans to like scientifically say that it's not safe to eat a human.
He's talking about some bacteria shit.
Like, if
Cows,
you cook-
bro.
if-
Cows
Yeah, but
are
we-
nasty as fuck.
Yeah, but we know how to
Okay, we
Make-
learn how to cook
What's
them.
stopping us from knowing how to cook a human
Exactly.
like thigh? I think if you cook it long enough, I'm not talking about like medium well done, medium rare fucking thigh steak, right? I'm talking about just like well cooked. Like, would you eat just meat,
meat.
human flesh, like in general? Like post-apocalyptic world, would you ever eat human flesh?
I like to do this for a
At that
reason.
point, I
I don't
think
know.
I think you don't.
Because in general, well, I mean, I don't like, but in general, that's okay. I mean, if there is anything to stop it from us eating it, that's just because we don't know about it. Because in other parts of the world, raw eggs, raw fish, raw chicken, they eat that because they're able to. Their sanitary like services are actually able to clean it.
Yeah, I feel like cannibalism is pretty common in crimes for a reason. In serial killers, it's pretty common for.
It's also a tribal thing.
Yeah, it's a
Yeah,
tribal
it's a
thing.
tribal thing.
Is cannibalism always justified?
We're not saying it's justified.
Yeah,
I'm, but I'm like saying it's like
We're
you
not
No, I
just-
said
guys are-
completely,
but you guys are
completely
ch-
ignoring all ethics and laws.
okay,
of course.
okay. Without ethics, maybe.
Yeah, okay.
But like with ethics,
Yeah, no, okay. If we're gonna come up with these hypothetical situations, we're throwing out laws and ethics
Okay.
completely out the door.
okay.
Yeah,
Would
like,
you
I'm
ever
in
eat
the
it?
mind of a serial killer. My ethics are already
Okay.
gone.
Yeah, I feel like I would eat human flesh. I don't think it would taste different than like
Yeah.
beef or
Yeah.
They say it doesn't. I mean, they say different parts of the body actually taste different.
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
That'd be weird. Yeah, imagine like eating like a
He's smiling because he's
fat
thinking
flesh
of dick,
between,
bro.
like,
Shut up.
like super lean ripped
are
flesh.
too.
Like muscly flesh would be like super chewy, no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
mostly fresh.
And like leg muscles too. I guess.
Play it.
Yeah.
Toes.
Yeah, play.
Court and would continue this action several times afterwards. Later that same year,
Didn't
he was
one,
working as a
like,
fireman,
sell
and while
burgers
drunk,
at a restaurant or
accidentally
something?
shot and
Like, it
killed
was filled
another
with
fireman.
food.
Keep in mind, the police and courts had no idea about his serial killings at this point, so he was tried for just the accidental shooting.
the
During
heck?
this time, he was diagnosed with schizophrenia, and he was ultimately let off as it was ruled a total accident. Shortly after this, he began having
That shit
friends
doesn't
over
happen
to
no more,
his
right?
house for cookouts, to which it was later found out he would regularly feed them human body parts, while claiming that it was just meat from an animal he had hunted. He became so bold with this that one day during one of his parties, he got one of his friend's girlfriends to come into the bathroom with him, to which he then killed her with an axe, and during the process, another one of the party attendees saw this. He screamed, everyone ran away and contacted the police, to which whenever the police got there, he was standing there completely naked,
What?
continuing to cut up the body as if nothing had happened.
And that's a
and then
schizo,
somehow, probably because the police were so freaked out by this sight, he got away and managed to stay unapprehended for 24 hours.
That's
And I can't
What the
emphasize that
fuck?
enough. The police walk in, he's standing there naked, covered in blood. He runs outside, and they just couldn't catch him for a while. The next day, he was caught, however, while staying at his cousin's house. And later that year, in 1981, he was found not guilty by reason of mental insanity.
I thought
So for 8 years, he stayed in a home for the mentally ill. That was until he was being transferred by a caseworker in 1989, to which at some point, Nikolai managed to steal the vehicle and get away. And from that point, he just drove the car to
That's
the
the
mountains of
voices talking.
Kazakhstan and began hiding out there. There was one point, however, where he felt like the authorities were closing in on the manhunt with him, so he contacted one of his friends in Moscow and had him write a fake letter to Nikolai's family saying that Nikolai was currently in Moscow and he'd begin killing there.
Wait,
This actually worked, and the police, thinking that
here's a little, I guess, would you
That
rather.
kid is smart.
So, would you rather get like 60 years in prison, or be, be manhunted for the rest of your life? Like always have the police on you. You know what I mean?
But you always be on edge.
Yeah, I know.
can't- There's
So
never.
I'm saying, would you rather have 60 years or always be on the run?
Always be on the run.
Always be on the run.
Shit, I
Don't
wouldn't
you?
get caught.
Wouldn't you lose like
No.
energy and stuff?
I think I would.
Always-
You probably get tired from
You
running.
get tired.
Yeah,
of
no,
shit.
like the mental exhaustion from
Yes.
knowing.
There's also mental exhaustion for 60 years.
Once
Yeah.
I'm not losing
But
60
I
At
guess
least
for
you have a-
60 years, you have, I guess,
You have
like
a sense of
routine.
security.
Yeah, you have a routine in prison. Like,
And
you
at
always
that
have a
point,
routine.
if you get used to it, then I
Did
guess
they
time goes
break?
by faster.
No,
I'd
just
say
kill
for
myself in
me-
prison.
I
I kill myself in prison.
no other option.
Yeah,
Either
no other
60,
option.
you
You live a normal life. But,
yeah, for
you
60
know,
years you're in prison, no getting out of it, no plea bargain, no nothing, no getting out early.
no bonds.
We're always on the run. I choose always on the run.
I choose always on the run. I'd play like this kid was safe about it too. He was smart about it.
What? How so?
Yeah, that fake letter.
Oh, I
That
guess the
works?
fake
Oh,
letter.
fake
That's
letter?
true.
Yeah.
Like I know I'm about to jinx myself, and he probably got caught and like fucking murdered or some shit.
Probably.
He like died in some dumbass way, like at the age of 30.
Probably.
But he played it smart for like 8 years.
8 years.
Imagine
That's
that though. 8
crazy, though.
years.
Being
always
How do you
on
just
the
like
on for 8
plot and
years.
scheme for 8 years? Jesus Christ.
run. I don't know. Some people just.
Bro was chilling.
I mean, why would you be on the run though?
I don't think I could do
why would
60
you
years in
wanna be?
federal prison.
Yeah.
That would just get onto you. How's that like more than just like always just staying off the grid?
I'd be schizophrenic.
But we didn't bring in mental illness about it.
Nah.
What are you asking, Nico?
Like,
What are you getting at?
what do you see in like being always on the run? That's just better than like.
I'm not in prison stuck.
Yeah, I
I'm
guess.
not stuck.
I feel like I'd be.
But I
lo-
feel like at some point I'd be able to like get out the country or move to like
Hmm?
a place where U.S. doesn't have jurisdiction.
I feel like I'd lose my like whole life if I spent 60 years in prison.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you seen even people who've been in prison for like 30 years? Like they don't know what a self checkout is at Walmart.
Shit, you're right,
Yes.
though.
8-9 years, yeah, dude, and you've lost all sense of like what's normal.
Yes. Like I'm not gonna do that, bro.
Dude, 60 years in prison is crazy though. That's not a lie.
I mean, lifetimes, you know.
Lifetime is.
But then that's like your life. Like
yeah. Well, that's your life either way. If you choose to be a runaway or in prison, like at some like either option, you're not going to be free technically, right?
I mean,
Prison, you're not free because you're in prison, and being a runaway, you're not free because you're always on the run. Any small move, like,
basically,
yeah.
I'm free when I'm
Sure.
on the run.
Y'all are all lame. I want to be on the run because I like the danger.
oh, you know what? That throw. I mean,
It's entertaining.
Yeah, sure. You say that for like the first month, but I feel like the first couple of months, no way you're gonna
It's
be.
maybe
no,
You're,
no
you're,
way
gonna get like,
Because what are we
You're
saying?
gonna get completely mentally.
What are we
exhausted.
saying? It's
Yeah.
Steven.
because you're always thinking like, of what
I'm gonna
was
have
gonna
like
happen.
a year of fun at least.
You're
Fun.
fun, and then he's going to go out with a bang.
100%.
100% a bang, a shotgun bang. Anyways, play the video.
Nikolai is about to start a murder spree in Moscow, focused all of their efforts back there. Nikolai lived in hiding for a couple years, even at one point growing medicinal herbs and trading them with villagers. However, by 1991, he was tired of it all and decided that the best way to start his life over was to get arrested for a minor crime under a fake name. That way, when he got out, he could reintegrate to society with a seemingly workable alibi. To do this, he stole sheep and then was purposefully caught while doing it. However, whenever he was being interrogated by the police and he gave them a story that he was an immigrant from China who was just stealing sheep because he was poor, he couldn't give an answer for how he successfully got over the border and into the country. Because of this discrepancy, the interrogators invited detectives from Moscow to come help figure out what the issue was. And sure enough, the detective from Moscow who showed up to question this supposed random Chinese sheep thief was one of the detectives who was originally looking for Nikolai during the killing.
What the
Which does sound
fuck?
weird
Pause
for
real
the
quick.
detective. Like,
Imagine that, dude. You walk in. Hey man, we got a Chinese guy. He's been stealing sheep and shit. Come in real quick. And you see that man just sitting in the table, dude. Imagine like
He
Bro,
took
we-
the.
my 8 years, 9 years of work.
And then you get found.
He just went around in a circle, basically.
Yeah, dude, 9 years of work, and the guy's just sitting there because of a little petty alibi shit.
He
bro.
literally erased his identity just to fucking get
That's
noticed
crazy.
again.
Dude. Imagine how it must have felt, bro.
Unlucky,
Oh,
bro. I would have killed myself on
That
the
is a
spot,
crazy
bro.
coincidence. I don't
Like,
think,
it's
I don't
not
think you
even
can at
worth
that point,
living
bro.
anymore.
That's crazy.
He
What were
probably
you gonna
turned
say?
white in this chair.
What were you gonna say?
Oh, never mind.
This is why the screen's on you.
Okay. Like that picture is right
He looks
there.
like Elon Musk.
What? Yeah.
I wonder what.
Elon Musk, but
Like you see it,
I
and like,
guess
oh,
he's
it's a picture. But
Chinese.
then when you're staring at it, his eyes, he's clearly has a grin on his face, and this is probably taken while he's like doing like an interview
Bro,
while
I
he's
think
talking
I'm
about the
to
serial
see.
murders.
That's crazy. Let's play.
Imagine you've spent years looking for this serial killer with metal teeth in the middle of Moscow, and then you get a call about some sheep thief in the Ural Mountains, and whenever you get out there, it's the metal tooth cannibal
Ural.
guy. So now that he was caught under the correct name, he was again sentenced to a life sentence because, again, no death penalty because he was ruled mentally deficient. He was thrown back into a home and continues to live out that life sentence today. However, he frequently makes requests that they give him the death penalty, although to this date, all of them have been denied.
Pause.
While Nikolai was only
He's still alive.
Would you?
But he.
I think like this would be an easy answer for most of us.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay.
Life in prison or the death penalty?
Death penalty.
Death
Death
penalty,
penalty,
right?
yeah.
Yeah, death penalty.
I am not gonna get.
I don't think
raped.
there's any easy way of living the. Oh.
What'd you say?
No, I thought you had
I
an
said, I'm
objection.
not
I
gonna
thought,
get
like, you
raped.
would've lived in prison? Oh, alright.
That's crazy. That's
Hi.
your first idea.
That's my guess. No
mean,
women.
Raped to death?
That's like
Damn.
But
That's the worst
way
way to
worse
go.
than fucking.
Yeah, that's hard as hell.
prison
Oh,
is
let's
like
talk about
prison is like his dream. All men, no women.
Damn.
Yep. Alright.
That's out of
All
pocket. bro.
men,
That's
no
wild.
women.
That's wild. Yeah, I feel like, or okay, how would you want to go out? Death penalty? You're getting the death penalty. How would you
Oh.
want to go out?
Injected.
Lethal injection. I don't know. I don't want no firing squad, but fuck.
Injection,
Yeah.
for sure.
I feel like fire.
Oh, wait. Hanging? I think hanging's pretty cool.
Hell no.
Actually, no.
I know,
think maybe
but like.
one or two states do hanging, cause there's like a couple of states, like one or two that still do the electric chair, I believe, and then
I
like
think
one
Texas.
or two or three that still does hanging, but most of them do.
Lethal.
Y'all ever
Lethal
hear about that
injection.
water droplet?
Oh,
Yeah,
what,
the
Chinese
torture.
water
I saw an
I
episode
just
of
know that
Mythbusters
fucking-
on it. That's
I want to
crazy.
try that for some
I
reason.
feel like that
I
was
feel like I could.
no,
I could
no.
totally
No.
body the water. I could totally body the water.
Everyone
Body
thinks
the
that
water?
it drives you insane.
Bro, I could bottle.
Fuck.
No, but
my
I feel
God.
like I'd like it'd be like, but then I'd like move around my head so it like hits different spots. every
Yeah,
time.
But
You-
it's
you-
just the constant dripping of water. It's gonna irritate.
You're gonna see later on my channel. Jimmy does the Chinese water torture challenge.
yes.
Gone
dude,
right.
I'm waiting for that, dude.
That'd be
wild.
fun.
Gone
I don't
wrong.
even know if that's funny.
Gone wild.
Gone wild. Gone sexual.
Gone
know.
sexual.
Anyways, hit the play button.
ever officially convicted of 5 murders, it's believed the actual number is closer
Bless
to
you.
a dozen. Metal Fang really caught on with the media, especially considering the cannibalistic nature of these killings. And, you know, a crazed Russian in the mountains who eats people with metal teeth is something that I'm sure the news like to run
Please.
with. Benjamin Atkins was born on August 26th of
Okay, you didn't have to
1968
call
in Detroit,
like disabled
Michigan.
people. Like
I
that.
have to mention this even though I have no
Can we run
idea
this-
what it's
can we run
talking
this back?
about, but every source
Benjamin.
I know ain't no one was paying attention.
nature of
That's good,
these
that's good.
killings, and you know, a crazed Russian in the mountains who eats people with metal teeth is something that I'm sure the news like to run with. Benjamin
pause.
Atkins would
Metal teeth is kind of.
Did he say how he get the? I know he broke
Probably,
his.
probably from like eating humans.
No. He. How
Metal
did he put
teeth?
the metal teeth in?
You think it was like cavity?
Surgery.
No, he was a worker. He did it himself.
Oh,
fuck
fuck that,
oh,
dude.
fuck that. Yeah.
Like,
That's
lo-
crazy.
or what's no.
Just getting a little Ryobi power, George.
Have you ever done? Well, no, he already lost the teeth.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah.
So how do you get the like? Did he surgically implant them? Are they just like little dentures?
That's
God.
crazy.
No,
Mm-mm.
I'm gonna live
not-
with. I'm gonna
not-
live
yeah.
with 2 missing front teeth. No way, I'm putting metal teeth
Yeah,
in my
bro.
mouth, dude.
I'm not putting metal teeth. I'd probably put like fake prosthetic teeth.
wooden
Veneers?
teeth.
Maybe
Like,
yeah.
Sure.
But
It's weird to look at it as like self harm, but I mean it kind of is. So like, y'all have never been to that level.
No.
you said that because no.
Oh,
Look at him. He's out like most of the weeks because he's on a fucking orthodontist, making sure his teeth are good.
hit the play button. That man
on
is hot.
August 26th of 1968 in Detroit, Michigan. I have to mention this even though I have no idea what it's talking about, but every source I read about Benjamin said he ran away in 1970 at the age of 2. I don't know how it's
2?
You can't even walk. You can't walk at 2.
That's
Dude,
crazy.
what?
Bro crawled away.
Jimmy, you couldn't walk at 2 years old.
I don't know. When are you supposed to walk?
Like,
Nah, bro,
months.
ran
Are
away.
you dead
at 2 years
ass?
old.
Yeah.
Bro, I don't remember walking.
Like, how what month do? Yeah, you have the most experience with babies because he has a baby sister. Like, what age did she start? Can't she walk?
the clarification go crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
Yeah,
think I'm
I
special.
mean, look at
running
him.
away from home
Yeah.
at 2 years old.
How
that's
bad does your life have to be to run away from home at 2?
I can just.
Bro, fuck that.
I
If
can
I'm from
literally
Detroit, I'm
finger
running
roll
away too.
anything.
Huh?
I can literally finger roll anything.
What does that have to do with the
Ooh.
video?
do with man? What the fuck?
What does that have to do with men? Can you stop touching the? Yeah, this is why G doesn't want us here. Hit the play.
Pick Captain.
I should
by the
mention
way.
My
that
foot is
that is a
asleep.
thing that happened. Because of this running or crawling away or whatever happened, Benjamin was
Crawling
taken
away.
in by an orphanage. It was found out by caseworkers after this event that he never knew his father and his mother was a heavy drug user.
My
Because
God.
of this dynamic, Benjamin was constantly in and out of foster care and in and out of his mother's care. However, things got complicated when Benjamin was only 10 years old and he was abused by one of the workers at the orphanage. This made the courts rule that his mother was the better option to take him given the circumstances. However, that turned out to be not good either. Benjamin's mother was a prostitute and would often bring Benjamin on her jobs,
Hell
and
no.
Benjamin later recalled frequently being in the back seat while she worked in the front seat. This gave Benjamin a very intense hatred of
that
women,
does serious
and
mental
especially
damage.
those who worked as prostitutes within Detroit.
He killed
As he grew up, he
prostitutes.
was never really able to maintain any job for a long amount of time and became a crack addict, mostly living in abandoned buildings around Detroit.
Goddamn.
One day, Benjamin invited a woman who was working outside of the abandoned building that he was staying in. He invited her inside so that the two could get high, but whenever she tried to leave, he killed her. And from there, that was established as his regular MO. He would lure women who he saw as undesirable into abandoned buildings, killed them, and then most often left their buildings in that location. As a matter of fact, the buildings were so often looked
Jesus,
over
you're never
that it
coming
wasn't
back
until
here.
months later police began to realize that there was a killer on the
Yo,
loose.
he always said
During this series of murders,
You can
Benjamin
eat when
was
you get a-
actually interrogated
eat when
by
you
the
have a
police
degree.
early on.
Bro has
However,
a
he
degree.
had an alibi and wasn't considered a top suspect anymore. During his killings, there was one woman who he attempted to murder who managed to fight back enough that she got away. From that
Oh.
point on, anytime the police thought that they had someone who may be the killer, they would bring her in order to ID him. So for several months, this woman would show up, say, no, that's not the guy, and that was just the routine. Until one day, Benjamin was arrested for a totally unrelated assault charge.
Pause,
However,
pause.
this
Steven,
assault
don't do it.
occurred.
Don't do it, bro.
Dude,
Do it.
it's wild how these people, so far, I know we have only seen 2, but I've seen on the news, like, serial killers, serial rapists, like terrorists, they go like 8, 9, 10, whatever years without getting caught,
I
and then they
know.
like steal a cigarette from the gas station, and then boom, they get caught.
Fuck.
That's just wild
Yeah,
to
that's
me.
kinda stupid. You gotta buzz.
That dude, a little 6th grader's, 8th grader's mouth has been on that shit, bro.
That's just wild to me. It's always like they have the
I
worst
don't
luck
know.
at the worst moment, dude.
Ah, I think I remember
I know
this
how to
video.
use this.
This Japanese criminal, he's been out for like 20 years, and then he sits down,
That was really good.
Thanks.
like he sits down next on a bed, on a. Go deal with him. He sits down on a bench next to a cop, and the cop offers him a cigarette, and he like felt so touched by that he just started going off about his whole life, and he basically came out as a criminal. And the cop, he lied and said, "I understand," but then later he told on him, and then he got arrested.
Damn, dude.
That's dumb as fuck.
Well, no. So what happened really was he gave himself in on that one.
Oh,
The other one is different. No, the cop that turned him in
Open your mouth, Jaylin.
saw just like a bunch of like injustice in like
Open your mouth. Open your mouth.
in all the prisons. That,
Open your mouth. Open your mouth, Jaylin. Keep talking. Keep talking. You got it.
okay. They can't even hear me, but yeah. So
Stick out your tongue.
this is prisons that he was in.
Yeah, get a
This
thumbnail.
one specific prison, this one older police officer, he was actually nice to him, showing respect,
Make this
treated him
one.
like a human. So then,
Oh.
yeah, he actually felt a connection. He actually felt like a person for once in all these years of him being a criminal. And so he decided to let him in on his like escape plan, and that's the one.
Did he like escape with like garnering amounts of like miso soup?
Yeah. So he escaped by breaking through. So we should have done that instead. Cause
I've
that's
seen I've
Yeah,
seen
that-
that.
that
episode.
story is
About the
really
video of the
good.
Japanese guy
escaped-
like breaking out from
escaped
like
from
4 different
every
prisons.
single like. He was like
I love that
Japanese,
video.
right? He escaped from like every like max.
He would like
prison.
crawl out through the like the bars.
In the cold, naked almost.
We should have watched that. I was just thinking about it too.
Also, this one, Benjamin Atkins. I swear this was a Criminal Minds episode. They did the exact same thing. They just killed prostitutes and like, bro, they didn't get caught for like so long because no one gives a shit about like homeless people and like prostitutes. So like, no one would report them missing because they didn't
Because
know they
they wouldn't
existed
matter.
anyways. Yeah, it's not like they were on like records.
I think it's crazy how like criminals are so desensitized that even like a small act of or a small gesture of kindness is like earth shattering to them.
Yeah, because
I think it's
they've
cool.
never felt that before. Because they're so damaged.
Yeah.
I mean, some of them are just evil, just because they're evil. But like,
Uh-huh.
some of them are like, they have some shit that.
Actually, in 5 years we're gonna do a reunion and we're gonna watch this. We're gonna do a video just like this, except it's gonna be about Steven.
saw that coming about.
We're gonna
Hit the
react
play
to
button.
this podcast.
Occurred in the area of one of the recent killings, so while the police were interrogating him, they had the surviving victim come, and sure enough, she ID'd him. After over 12 hours of interrogation, Benjamin eventually confessed to the 11 murders.
Pause.
And from there, it was later proven through things
Have y'all seen I think you've seen those, but I just love watching like 2-hour interrogation videos and like the
Dude.
breakdown
I
of them.
can't.
JCS?
I can't.
Fuck. SCP shit. Fuck.
That is so interesting to me.
Uh,
Being a detective is crazy, dude. Like you're like a
Yeah.
sure. No, I'm talking about like the detectives, like how they like and like
How their
how
mind
get you.
Hollywood
works.
is insane. with
Body
them.
language.
Have you seen? There's this one where one of the detectives was actually doing the crime, and they used all the same tactics, but like that's just how they are, and like they couldn't tell.
They're very
Damn.
slimy.
So like they fell to the same tactics that they've learned to use.
Not because I saw a video over like a CIA interrogator, and he's like, "Yeah, we train to know how to tell when somebody knows how to avoid body language. That people that know like, oh, they're doing this. They're like, yeah, we're trained to be able to see that, not just the body language when they are trying to lie or something like hugging yourself.
Yeah, even
putting
like,
back.
yeah.
No, they're like, we can tell when you're faking it to look like legit, which is wild to me. The amount of research that must go through that.
Sorry, I was thinking of Mr. G. He
No,
always
dude,
the
she-
body language he
No.
does. It's like Jesus.
I'm
Christ.
thinking about what my body language is gonna be in that tiny room during my
Oh
interview.
God, dude!
Oh,
I was
seriously.
Yeah,
bro.
dude, because they're like this, right? And as soon as you walk in, so what?
I'm
So
I know
so-
what you're doing, Mr.
Fuck.
G.
What do you
I know
think,
what you're doing.
What do you think we should do as like what never.
Sit.
What should we
how
do,
did-
like, or what should we say like?
Like,
Yeah,
when-
just
whenever
relax.
you did interviews, would they ask you about other people?
Yeah.
They
Like
did?
who would they ask you about?
Don't worry about it.
yeah, don't worry about it.
Okay,
They asked
obviously
me-
they didn't ask you about me. So
No, they asked me how would I like react to, because this was when I was auditioning.
things like DNA evidence and his recollection of the killings that he was in fact the killer. According to him, the first murder was accidental and due to the effects of the drugs he was taking. However, after that, he decided that he enjoyed it and continued to do it again. Perhaps one of the most brutal details of this is that his method of murder was strangulation, and he would
Same.
often have them pass out
Pause.
and then
not?
wait for them.
Let's not bring our.
Could you ever, again, ethics out the window?
All right.
All right,
Strangulation is crazy. Though.
ethics out the
Like,
door.
That's
Yeah.
ethics
We are
throw
in
out
the
the door.
mind of a serial killer.
laws thrown out the door.
Mhm.
Would you? Steven, don't answer this. I know the answer. Would you ever be able to strangle somebody?
No.
No,
Well,
That takes a long.
I mean,
Let's say you had to
can't.
kill somebody.
absolutely.
No, okay, wait. Obviously, you wouldn't strangle your mother. But would you strangle like Hitler?
Yes.
Yes. Well, try to.
I think I'm too scared of him. I don't know. Well, okay. I mean, I can't.
But like,
I'm not
you would
sure.
hold. You would.
I
like,
guess we still have.
feel the life leave them.
I feel like we still have our ethics in our mind.
Yeah, like sure. You're like, oh yeah, it's Hitler. I could kill him, but like, I don't.
mean,
I
they
even
can
doubt.
still like hold their breath though, because there's possible ways.
Fuck,
to
I'd kill
survive.
Hitler.
Yeah,
as a
yeah, but
baby.
you're gonna hold them, and then
No,
you're gonna
no,
feel for
the
their
whole-
heartbeat, and then yeah, they're not beating. So
Kill
you're gonna.
Hitler as a baby dilemma. It doesn't. It won't do anything.
Overpopulation. Yeah.
Are you gonna become the next Hitler or something?
No, I'm not. The fuck is
You're
the
not
word?
Say you're locked in a
You're
room
not-
with Hitler. Are you gonna stab him to death or strangle him to death?
After all he's
Strangle.
done.
Yeah, he's in the bunker and you're in the bunker with him. Like before he shoots himself, you manage to take the gun away from his hand. Are you strangle him or are you gonna stab him to death? No gun, you can't use the gun. Strangle or
I'm a stab him.
Stab.
no? If anything, it's better because one.
If I was in a
room.
room,
No.
if I was in a room with Stalin, Hitler, and Adonai, and I had two
Shut the hell
bullets,
up.
I shoot
What?
Adonai twice.
The fuck?
You're not original, bro. I know that episode of The Office, bro.
Yeah, I kept. I was like, should I fucking do this? It's funny as fuck, bro.
Yeah. So sorry. Again, you're in the room with Hitler. Are you stabbing him to death or strangling
I'm
him to death?
stabbing.
Strangling. I can't stab.
I can stab.
I mean,
I feel like I feel it go into his body.
I want to
feel
see.
it.
I want to see that shit. You know.
That,
I feel
yeah,
like
that's
stabbing
absolutely
would
more
be easier,
personal.
though. Like
The
it would be
strangling,
easier to,
yes.
like, actually get the job done. Strangling
Oh,
is
no,
more personal,
stabbing
but
is-
I mean,
Fuck, bro. Stabbing is a lot more.
I don't think I could kill someone.
I feel like
I could kill someone.
I feel
no,
like
but for me, I feel like feeling the gushy insides of a person is way harder than just strangling somebody, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
I want to see that shit.
really.
If I'm
You're
gonna
just
kill
fucking
someone,
weird.
because like if I'm gonna kill someone, that would be weird for me to do. If I was gonna kill someone, it
It's, like,
better be
personal, right?
justified.
Yeah.
So like I want to see.
I thought-
I want to see like the result of me killing them. I don't know the satisfaction.
Okay. Interesting.
But you would say strangling?
I know not to make you mad now.
He fucked the body. Play.
Never mind.
Him to wake back up just so he could do it again. In April of 1994, he was convicted of 11 murders taking place over the span of 9 months. And for these 11 murders, he was given 11 life sentences.
sucks.
Benjamin died of an illness while in
Died.
prison on September 17th of 1997, and to this day is known as the Woodward Corridor Killer. Robert Hansen, also known as the Butcher Baker,
The
was
Butcher
born in
Baker.
Iowa
Is
in
that a
1939.
goat's
From a
horns?
young age,
Yeah.
Robert's
Ram
strict
power?
dad made him work long hours in the family bakery, and
Aw,
Robert himself
long
was
hours in
bullied
the
in
bakery.
school for having a speech impediment. He joined the Army Reserve out of high
Actually-
school, and it was during this time that he was renowned for his marksmanship. However, in 1960, he was arrested after burning down the school bus garage. In the court proceedings that followed, he was diagnosed as having an infantile personality. Because of his
Infantile.
reputation in Iowa growing sour, he moved to Alaska in 1967, to which initially it seemed that life was going good for him. He had a wife and kids and was a professional big game hunter
Pooh.
within Anchorage, Alaska.
Come
As a matter
on,
of
man.
fact, he held several state records for large game hunts he went on.
Damn.
However, a couple years after arriving there, he was arrested and served 6 months in jail for attacking a prostitute, and in 1977 was arrested for stealing a chainsaw for some reason. In 1980, he staged a false robbery at his house in which he said several items were stolen, and using the insurance payout money, he opened his own bakery in Anchorage, Alaska. And 2 years later, bought his own bush plane to explore the Alaskan wilderness. What was not known until years later is that during this stretch of time, Robert would go into the city and pick up prostitutes before bringing them to his
Pause.
private plane and flying to a
What the fuck is it
Small
with these
what?
prostitutes?
I don't know.
bro?
Yeah, I was gonna
I
say
think
it's all
y'all hate
the
prostitutes
hate
or
against
what?
prostitutes is insane in serial killers.
Like, I know they're not the cleanest people, and I know like it's like,
They just see them as objects.
but like they're still people. Like they're
Yeah,
doing
they
that
are
for a
still
reason.
Sex work is work.
It's a job.
It really is, dude.
It is
It really
easy.
is just drive down, get in my car, kill him,
Pussies can't kill a harder way.
pretty much.
Sex
to a
to death.
small shack that he had in the middle of the Alaskan wilderness. Once there, he would demand them to perform several odd fantasies, to which for 30
Steven
women
Assad.
who performed those fantasies, he brought them back and they just assumed him to be a weird rich client. However, for at least 17 women who refused his advances, it became much darker. To, again, at least 17 victims after forcing himself onto them after they denied his advances, he would then release them into the Alaskan
gonna hunt them.
wilderness, to which he would then hunt them down over the next several days.
Holy
In
fuck.
later interviews,
Pause.
it was shown that he would hunt
Would you ever be able to hunt somebody like that, dude?
What the
No, it's
fuck?
They,
wild, bro.
they would even know that they're being hunted. Holy
Huh?
shit.
No, they. I don't think they would like. He'd be like, "Oh, I'm gonna hunt you." I think he just leave them there.
Yeah, no, he
Yeah.
just straight up run.
Like
And
go, but then like they wouldn't be know. What
that's
the
crazy.
fuck?
Hunting people is like I've watched like the Hunger Games.
Huh?
Like that's crazy. Hunting people is insane.
No, this is way darker than that. I feel like.
Yeah.
them
Squid
in
Game.
much the way he would an animal, tracking them and stalking them through the forest. Initially, when women were found shot to death in the middle of the wilderness, the police who found their bodies thought that this was the result of some sort of gang dumping people that they killed in the middle of the wilderness. This may have went on for much longer if it wasn't for one woman who escaped in 1983. A trucker was driving down the road near Anchorage,
So was
Alaska,
the truckers.
when he saw a woman run out of the woods with one hand handcuffed. He brought her to the police, to which she said she was working on the corner whenever a John Doe pulled up, invited her into the car. He then drove her to his house before she denied his advances. He had his way. Before taking her to the airport and before flying away, she managed to catch him off guard for a second and run away. And somehow, by the grace of God, she remembered the tail number of the plane he tried to take her in. So the
Damn.
police searched the number and came to the name of Robert Hansen. Initially, his friends gave a false alibi for him, which they later recanted on, and after a lot of court hoopla, he was eventually arrested and his house searched. In his possession, they found a Ruger Mini 14, which ballistically matched the .223 bullets that were used to kill the women, as well as several souvenirs such as IDs, driver's license, or purses from the women that he had killed. He was suspected of 21 murders, and after a plea bargain that ensured he wouldn't get the death penalty, he showed investigators 17 of them. However, for whatever reason, he never showed the other 4, even though he confessed to those 4 killings. The most common theory around this, which again can't really be proven, is that perhaps those 4 that he killed weren't prostitutes, and therefore in his own twisted form of morality, he had more trouble justifying it and didn't want to confront it. Finally, on February the 18th of 1984, he was sentenced to a life sentence plus 461 years in prison, to which he died of
fuck.
natural causes while in prison on May the 11th of 2014. Ervil
Father-
LeBaron was born.
This is a little bit off topic, but back in the day, obviously mail is like super personal stuff, right? Like you get bills,
Yeah, yeah.
taxes, shit like that. So actually, like mailmen, I don't know if it's still right now, but mailmen would actually get prison time if they lost the mail. So one guy had his back doors open as he's driving, and all the mail flew away, and obviously they took him to jail, and he was like sentenced to like 800 something years in prison, dude. Obviously they're like, yeah, no, we can't do this. Like
That's what the law says, right?
yeah, like technically, legally, he would have to serve like 800 years or
Holy
something like that.
fuck.
And I think they backtracked on. They're like, yeah, we can't do this.
Who even lives that long?
Jonah.
It's just like, yeah, okay, you lose every piece of mail is like 5 years or something. That's kind of how it works.
Yeah.
Anyways,
Stupid.
Now what time is it?
On February 22nd of 1925 in Chihuahua, Mexico. He was born into a fanatical Mormon family who had started a compound.
Okay, sorry,
in
pause.
Mexico.
Mexican?
To give a
Pause.
little bit of
all right, it is currently. You got 5 minutes to put everything back up. I'm sorry we couldn't make this episode longer. I know this episode is super dry and mid, but
It's a filler episode.
filler
We
episode.
trust us. Like the next episode will be good. It'll be longer, be like an
Trust
hour.
me,
or
bro.
something.
Anyways, thank you for watching episode 9 of the Shrimp Fried Beans Talk Show. I am your host, Adonai Flores, joined today by my co-host, Stephen Ray Ayala and Amigo Nicas Torres Piñeras. Thank you very much. Like and subscribe. Link for this video is in the description. Thank you very much. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Finally got the picture.
I fucking